Welcome back to the Twin Cities Film Fest. I'm your host, Blythe Whaley, and alongside me are some awesome filmmakers from the film Voices of Shadows. We're first going to start with Nicholas Bain, and he is the director of this awesome film. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
And I would love for you to introduce who's standing alongside of you.
Yep. So here we have, I brought our two villains. We have Milda, Jane Hamill, and Michael Paul Levin, who plays Father John. They may not be villains. I don't know.
And also, if you could continue on about your film, and let's give like a brief overview because I think it's important before we get started on some of these questions.
Yeah, so Voice of Shadows is a film about a young working class guy who's trying to prevent his past from repeating itself, and when his girlfriend inherits an estate, he finds just that happening, and so he inherits an estate, and he has to abide by certain stipulations in order for the deal to go through. One is which is he's not supposed to live in the house, which he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, of course, this genre being horror, I want to talk with you because you guys both obviously acting in this film. How difficult was it to get into a character like you had to for this one?
Not hard at all. I like being evil.
That's too funny. Do you have anything to add?
The most difficult part was just the contact lenses, the evil eye contact lenses. Yeah, those are never pleasant. But I was held down by two sturdy people who were able to
Force you into
force them into me. Yeah.
That's too funny. Yeah, definitely contact lenses. I feel like I've heard that from a lot of people where that can be a challenge sometimes. But Nicholas, can you also talk about your film and maybe what some of those challenges were in making this film come to life and be as great as it is?
The challenges, I mean, we shot in Lanesboro, Minnesota mostly, which was sort of like shooting on a remote island.
Yeah.
And we shot in an old Arab bed and breakfast. And as a producer, writer, and director, you're just wearing a lot of hats. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes. And when you're going through this storyline and writing something like this, did you have anything that inspired you to write this film?
Yeah, there's a number of inspirations. A friend of mine, though, originally called up and told me a story about a landline that their family had lost, and a bookstore had adopted that landline. So she said, wouldn't that be a great, preface for a horror film? So I started there. It originally was a film about, a rotary phone, and you don't know sort of who's calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Love the suspense. And for you guys, when you were acting in this film, did anything stand out about this experience working with Nicholas, or whether it was getting into your character that you're going to bring to another film? Anything stand out in particular?
Well, I didn't have a hard time getting into character. But it's fun, and it's, you just kind of have to find the humor in the evil. Yeah. And Nick was great.
And as far as when you're talking about finding the humor in the evil and finding where you're able to sink that in, what did that mean for you when you're thinking about your character and maybe what you'll bring to another character? When you do, whether it's horror or for another film, is there anything that you would bring to it?
You have to find the human part of it. Yeah. You're just not acting a character. You have to find the human part of the character because they are a person. And there's many layers to that person.
And also, too, when you're playing a bad guy or an evil guy, generally they don't think they're the bad guy. They don't think they're evil. They think what they're doing is the right and proper thing to do. So you have to come at from that angle, that I'm doing the right thing, and you people just don't understand where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
And Nicholas, you said that you wore a lot of hats on this film, and I want to talk about maybe what's your favorite one? If you have to pick one, if you could only do one on your next project, which would that be?
First and foremost, I'm a screenwriter.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of experience writing screenplays before I did this, and before I decided to do a film. Basically, I did this film because I was hired to write 4 films that didn't get made. So I was like, I can also not get a film made, so I will go ahead and try to do it myself, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's just the power and encouraging probably for some of these viewers just to make sure that they're making it happen, because it sounds like that's what is why you're all here today on the red carpet, because you did that. But Nicholas, also when you think about filmmaking for yourself, do you want to continue to look to make more in this horror genre, or do you want to splinter off? Is there anything else that you're looking to tell?
I like each genre equally. I probably am going to do one more horror film after this before moving on from that genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to plug? Is there any ideas that are wiggling
I
around?
can tell you the film's called Greed, and that's kind of all I'm willing to say about it at this point. Yeah.
That's enough. I mean, it's a good title. I would like that. But as far as you guys, is anything coming up that is exciting for you guys in your acting career?
Not really. With the strike, there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of, sit around and wait for something to come.
yeah, that's true.
I actually have another movie that I shot the same year that's been going around the film festival circuit too. But I'm not sure if it's appropriate to plug it here or not. But yeah, it's called The Frogman. So it was shot up in Minnesota as well. And I'm another bad guy, unfortunately. I play the sheriff. Yeah.
And we'll get back to your film, Nicholas, and what it was like, just the relationship coming to finding these actors and to finding the actors in this film. How hard was it in that process to be choosing who you were going to have portray these characters?
Yeah, I was definitely involved in the casting process as well. Luckily, we went with more talent, and they brought us Michael and Jane. But I think for them, we probably auditioned, I don't know, 50 or 100 people for each of those, and both of them could get angry during the audition process, so that was a big thing for us. And then, my co-creator Guillermo, who's in South America, we created the project together. He was kind of the lead the whole time, and then we just kind of pieced together the cast from different parts of the world.
Yeah,
He said that I scared him when I auditioned.
Yeah. That's how I knew we had Armilda.
that's hilarious. That always helps. So you left an impression, that sounds like.
Yeah.
But as far as the Twin Cities Film Fest in general, of course, you're going to get to see your film on the big screen today. What has it been like to be able to see some reactions to some of your films, but also how excited are you to get to see the reactions tonight?
Yeah, Bill Cooper brought me to this festival. He's a longtime friend who was the head of the festival for a long time. I've had a really great experience here so far, meeting other filmmakers. Everyone's been super friendly.
Yeah.
We showed the film in Lanesboro last night, which is where we shot the film as well. That was also a sold-out show.
Wow. Incredible. That's always encouraging. Of course, you're doing something right when that's happening. As far as you guys, when you think about tonight, all these people gathering around, getting ready to see your guys' film, how proud are you to stand up here and get ready to see it?
Hopefully I did him proud.
As an actor, you never know until you see it. If it's all come together, you don't know what take they use, you don't know what edit they used. I've gone to movies that I was looking excited for and found out that my part was completely edited out. And you find that out at the last minute. So it's always a gamble, but it's always exciting. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, I would assume since Nicholas has you up here that you are in this film. You are not edited out.
Not
Yeah,
in the film.
exactly. Yes. That's too funny. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here on the Twin Cities Film Fest red carpet. A pleasure having you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Well, you guys, more awesome filmmakers coming up next here on our red carpet. Stick around. Thank you.